Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Plimpton School Committee meeting for Monday, July 17th, 2017. We do not have any visitors here today.
That's correct.
And we have sort of a light group. We're down 2 school committee members, as well as some of the other staff.
Yes.
But we shall manage. And particularly today, we'll be dealing with our closeout for the year is really the big reason, and we'll touch on a few other things too. I don't know, did folks have a chance to take a look at our minutes of June 12th that were sent out earlier? If not, you can take a moment to take a peek through the one here. They're longer than normal, but that's, I think, largely because of the resolution that we voted on last time.
That's correct.
So I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
I make a motion to accept the 12 minutes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And Joy, I'd like to hold the review and vote on the executive session minutes
Sure.
until the next full meeting when we
I think
have
that's a good idea.
a full group of folks here, especially since depending on some of these, some of us may or may not have been at those meetings. So.
Yep.
I did not have any correspondence that I have seen since the last meeting.
Nor have I.
Nothing on your end. We do not have any new business before the committee today. Unfinished business, there's no new updates on the driveway sign. The 6th grade gift at graduation back in June, which seems like a long time ago. But
Indeed.
it was, what, 4 weeks or so? The 6th grade did present a very large check,
Yep.
meaning in size,
Yep.
and actually in amount to the Dennett to put towards a new lighting system for the stage, which I know Mr. Veneto has been working
Yes.
on to get some estimates, and hopefully the system will be modular and is something that can be added to as they go along. But the existing system, as I think we've mentioned, was likely here when the school was built and perhaps was used then. Maybe not. Maybe it was new at the time, but it's certainly
It's
past
been
its
around,
time, and
yes.
it's be good to get into something new that the kids can use for talent shows and other things like that. Nothing new on community garden. Water treatment, I have been working since the last meeting, both with town council to develop basically a contract is how they decided to go for general conditions
Okay.
that we would put in as part of the bid package. And this would serve as sort of the contract that we would anticipate signing with whomever was chosen to do the work. So it outlines all of our conditions of what we expect them to do, what is expected of us as well, insurance requirements, and so on and so forth. So I've gone back and forth while I was on vacation with town council on that. I have to follow up with the consultant to make sure that if any changes that they have, and then I provide them with a draft copy so they could keep their work going.
Mm-hmm.
And my hope is that we can have that wrapped up this week so that they can get the bid package finalized, and then hopefully get that out in the next week or 2.
Great.
Okay. It would have gone a little quicker, but for the fact that I wasn't in the country. So that tends to slow things down. I didn't have a computer with me either.
That'll do it.
So at a certain point, I decided trying to review things side by side on an iPad didn't work very well,
Yeah.
or on a phone and an iPad. But we did get some movement along, and I know that they're eager to get moving on that.
Okay.
I don't think there are any updates as well on playground.
Nope.
Like that. So that moves us pretty quickly down to standing committees. Administrative.
No meeting.
Nothing on that. We have nothing new to report on negotiations. We don't have any open negotiations. I think
No, we don't.
everything-
We're all set.
We're all cleaned up for this year. Union 31, I guess we're talking about a
Meeting.
upcoming meeting in August.
Yes.
August.
Lisa sent a note out. If you're available and interested, we hope to bring forward a new assistant superintendent candidate on August 10th at 7 o'clock. It will be a joint meeting, but everyone is invited to attend, have a chance to interview the candidates or candidate, depending on how things go this evening and tomorrow. The appointment is a school committee appointment. It is a school committee vote. So it's August 10th at 7. And if you are available and interested, please let Lisa Turcott know so we have a quorum.
So it is. So it's a school committee vote. So does that mean that the union votes on it and then it comes back to the school committee?
The union votes on it and the region vote on it. The union represents their school committees.
Okay, got it. Thank you. We do not have any update on PAC
Yep.
for this meeting.
Yep.
But I'm sure we will at our next. Do we have some policy stuff coming
We have
up?
a lot of policy
Yeah, I
stuff coming
saw
up. There was
some-
a huge listing of, from MASC. So
Okay.
that's going to be some lengthy meetings in the fall.
In the fall?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think we have anything additional on capital improvement beyond water treatment for today.
Mhm.
And again, legislative, we will wait till the next meeting for that.
Yep. Principal's on vacation?
So he's off the hook for today.
He is.
Do we have any updates from CASA?
No updates?
Other than, looks like I know we had a really good year this year.
Yep, they did a lot, but no updates out of us, but they did a lot moving into that, tax bracket and those, and all of the enrichment programs that they ran, they were great.
Excellent. So, to the star of the show for today.
Thank you. I'm gonna do my part. We met just 5 weeks ago tonight, I guess it is. Not a lot has changed since then regarding our financial. I just want to take a step back about the way the budget's voted. The budget here in Plimpton is voted in 3 lines. The first piece is the regular day budget, so that includes everything that you'll see in our detail up through the 9,000. Stops just before the 9,000 series. The next item that's budgeted is the special education section, and that includes everything. That includes what happens within the building here, as well as the out-of-district tuition and transportation that occur. And the last number that's voted is the out-of-district vocational placement. So everything that we do, we kind of keep in line with the way the town budgets. Even though our financial, we try to include everything, we keep in line with the way the town budgets so we can reconcile with the town and there are no misunderstandings on where we're spending funds. This year, we've had a lot of ups and downs, and looking at your financial, you can see that we've had some areas where we've had some real savings. Our teacher line, we had some savings because we had a couple of retirements. So we had $26,000 in savings there. We also had a savings in our substitute line. This has been a great year for substitutes in all of our schools where,
Which is unusual,
yeah, it's very unusual.
extremely.
We have had an exceptional year in the other direction, our homeless transportation line. That's really, we spent $21,000 on that this year.
But if I recall, in years past, we haven't spent really anything on that.
Correct.
So it just hasn't been a number we've really been
Expecting.
Sort of, it's either
This is
a big
unusual.
number or it's not.
Right,
A
it's
number.
usually
I mean, it's
the other way.
Yeah.
And in the governor's budget, there is money for some reimbursement, but it won't happen until next year.
Yep.
And it will go directly to the town.
Mhm. Okay.
We had some savings in utilities, about $15,000 in utilities. And our special education section this year did pretty well. The only really significant item that went the other way for us this year was the contracted services line. There was a significant deficit. So if you look at our closeout, and let me see, I'm telling you, there's a total closeout after encumbrances, so after we've accounted for everything that's come into the building services items that we have not yet been billed for. We're closing out and returning to the town $80,821.32.
Wow.
Of that, because that includes all of regular day and special education, of that amount, $639.77 is regular day. That's all we're returning on the regular day budget. The balance of it is from special education. And that's the agreement that we've had. If there are surpluses there, then it would be returned to the town. So of that, $80,181.55 is from special education and will be returned to the town. And then in the out-of-district vocational portion, we're returning $54,262.10 to the town. We had 7 students that said they were gonna go, and all 7 went. The savings is primarily from transportation, we had the right balance of the numbers of students between our 3 towns, and then when we transport along with Middleborough, so it's worked out well financially for us this year. Are there any questions?
So we're returning both of those figures to the town?
Yes.
It's pretty much the cost of the water treatment, which is great.
And we saved, so we saved $50,000 in transportation?
Transportation, it came, I budget in the higher 5s or 7,000, and it just
Yeah.
came in lower, and we had a student that we've been sending to South Shore Vocational.
Right, who had a
and he's-
co-op or something.
And he's been on a co-op,
Right.
so our transportation
But-
for him was actually cut in half.
Yeah.
So we had when I make the estimates, I look at worst case scenario. Tuition plus the worst case scenario for transportation. I know
So
what tuition's
so
are.
transportation is a huge chunk
Huge.
of the.
It's huge.
It is.
Huge.
It's always huge.
It's always huge.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, every school
I
system
mean,
really
I
struggles
think
with this.
people need to
Right.
understand this, that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not even.
we
because
spend
people
more
think
on
it's
students going to vocational than they do to a college, a public
Correct.
school, a public college.
because of
The transportation and the
The-
cost of the tuition, yeah. If you
Yeah.
add them together, it costs more than a public college. Go to Bridgewater or
Right.
UMass Dartmouth, it costs us more.
But we save like an average of $8,000 on transportation per student.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then next year that could switch depending on the mix of students that we have.
Well, absolutely. I
Right,
mean, this
so-
is
and
this is.
I do budget for worst case transportation scenario.
Because it has worked for the towns to get the money back.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
towns would rather be conservative and not go to them saying, you know, we're in a deficit.
No, I agree.
But
I
it
mean,
is
it's-
astounding, the impact.
I think it might be useful to put together just and keep a running tally 5 years for both of these items, for special ed and voc, what we've returned or what we've asked
This is
for.
unusual.
No, I know it is,
Right.
but next year when it's not this way.
Right,
And we said
exactly.
this last year too, because
Right.
we had a
Right,
big
right.
return last year too.
Right.
But I think it's just important to have that
Sure.
information in a clearly
We do
digestible.
keep track of that information. The special ed piece hasn't always been separated out to that extent. It used to be just one number for regular day and special education. And then they did budget separately for the out-of-district vocational. But we do have that information going back many years.
I just if you have a bit of time when the world isn't crazy, you know.
I'm sorry.
But you know what I mean, not budget time and all that. Just to kind of put that together, I think it'd be a good visual for the committee to have.
Sure.
Partly because it helps us being able to throw those numbers around pretty quickly, because we've had. I'm just getting that feeling. I know Jason and I have speak about it a lot. Is that we've had 3 really good years.
Yeah, we have.
Yes, we have.
You know,
Yeah.
as far as being able to maintain the school budget
Absolutely.
in a very fiscally conservative perspective,
Yep.
while keeping the building in great shape and being
Mhm.
able to get the kids what they need and
Mhm.
being able to upgrade books and the whole thing,
Right.
and also being returning money to the town.
Yep.
And you know, we've had years I know where we have to ask for $220,000 from the town
Mhm.
for
Yep.
that.
Right.
But I just think just to have something really
Sure.
simple, and then we can just keep that, so it's
Ongoing.
always at hand.
Sure.
I think it's a great point. Great point to make,
Okay.
and just to be able and easily consumable. So that's they're going to be happy because that's well
I
above
think
what
They
we.
will be pleased.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's we try to put things. We try to do a good, common sense budget, but as you
Yep.
say, we missed it on the transportation
Mhm. Yep.
for homeless transportation. But of course, we missed it because we hadn't had it.
Right,
So
exactly,
why are you
exactly.
holding the money?
Right.
The other piece is the utilities piece. I'm always caught on that one. So we had a savings. Do we have
We
any?
had a savings mostly from,
That was mostly rate
We
based.
negotiated a gas supplier contract.
Okay.
That started last August. And so when I budget the prior year, I don't like to take much of a cut.
No,
until
I
see
agree.
improvement.
I mean, it's.
And we had a significant savings in gas, and that's $10,000 of the $15,000 savings in that account.
So as we thought, it's not as much of a savings as we saw, but that's partly because we're charging how many different laptops, and
Right,
we're
sure.
probably using more, but
Right.
Right.
but
No, absolutely.
using more within the building, but it actually ends up being about the same of what we were using because of all the savings that was put in and
Right,
everything
right.
else. Okay. That's great.
That is, that's one just.
Yeah, sure.
on the legal fees line, it's not anything about what's going on, is that, do we use that same budget every year, or is it, does it go up and down when we're doing the contracts when we're?
It can, no, our attorney
That-
charges a flat fee, so
We do
we're
a
all
flat
paid the
fee.
same thing.
Okay, all right.
And the only
Just
other,
curious,
Yeah.
the only other piece that's also included in that line is we pay for law firm to represent us for special education costs. And that's also goes through that line.
I just want to, my own curiosity.
So Fred's a fixed cost for us, so if we negotiate in 2 sessions or 25,
Yeah.
he does better with 2, we do better with 25. Well, not really.
Yeah.
We pay in our own way for that.
Exactly, exactly.
Um, Good. Okay,
Okay. Hi.
on to you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So it says early registration, but that's actually passed. That ended July 15th. Jason is registered for the Plimpton School Committee. He will represent you. I think you voted that. But if anyone else is interested, we still could register you
Okay.
to go. So it's just sort of to let you know that. You have the updated organization chart in here
Yep.
somewhere,
Should
just
look
for your
just like
records.
last time.
Yep, should look exactly like last time. You have our new school calendar, and this is the newest cutting-edge refrigerator decoration. Goes with any kitchen decor. It's lovely. I believe that I at first thought said marigold, but I've been corrected. I think it's sunflower. So some sort of pretty
Canary.
yellow golden type thing is is the calendar. So when we do our October 1 numbers, it will also be this color because Lisa color codes, which actually is
There
kind
we
of
go.
fun. I had not broken that code until recently. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I'm a little tired. August meeting.
Oh, I will note, just to remind folks out there, that one of the changes, and we talked about it when we did the calendar, and I think an important and fun change is just for February vacation, just to note that there's a professional day the Friday before February vacation.
Yes.
Which means that February vacation starts Thursday evening.
Exactly, which I think will be very helpful for families. Friday was a day we didn't always have great attendance because of cost of flights, et cetera. So
Right.
I think that's one that parents seem to be very pleased about. So I think
So
that'll be a good
I
decision.
Just toss that
Thank you.
out there if you're thinking about your winter trip already.
Yes. So traditionally, we have not needed to have an August meeting. As I mentioned, if at all possible, we would, or my hope is, I don't know that I'm going to be able to pull this off, but my hope is to bring forward a candidate as a new assistant superintendent August 10th and to hold a joint meeting between the union and the region. I do not believe we will need an August Plimpton meeting. We may have warrants to sign. I don't know that we would have them ready by August 10th.
Well, and we voted that I can sign them, right?
And we voted that you could sign them, so you and I might meet somewhere and have a cup of coffee, and
Yeah.
you can sign off.
Yep.
So that
We
would,
could find a way to make it work.
we could find a way to
I'm
make
not
that
too
work.
worried about that.
Right.
I will note that depending on when we're able to get out the bid package for the water treatment, that may necessitate a meeting.
Okay, fair enough.
And it doesn't necessarily need to be all, I mean, it needs to be
Right.
the school committee
Right,
at a
okay.
minimum. But we won't know that until it goes to bid,
Okay.
or gets put out.
Right.
But then there's a minimum time that it has to be out, and then everything sort of falls from there.
Sure.
So I'll be in touch about
Okay.
that. That's the only thing that it is. I mean, I would.
Would
my
you like to keep
my
the date?
hope. I think we need to keep the date.
Okay.
But I think it's unlikely we're going to get away with not seeing each other between now and 25th of September.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, that's, if we do, then things aren't going right.
Okay,
You
so
know what I mean?
at this point, we'll leave the August date up.
But absent, if we don't need that, then it may mean that we have to meet twice in September. One just specifically for reviewing the submittals
Sure,
and following that process. But again, we can make sure we have the correct people at that discussion
sure,
and not include others that we don't.
sounds good. And then you also have a copy of the FY18 final budget that was voted by the town, which again is just for your records. It's a hard copy, so it just says voted by the town at the top.
Right.
Okay, and that is all I had.
Okay. Anything else, folks? We're good? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you and have a good evening.